Southern, the top seed in the SWAC. They get to the championship game after a win against Jackson State. Meanwhile, Texas Southern fell prey to the upset of Alcorn State yesterday in a 20-point victory for the Braves. Hello, everybody. Derek Jones and Fallon Stokes with you from Atlanta. It's an exciting time of year. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament. Some redemption on the line for Alcorn State. Meanwhile, Southern, they're trying to get back to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, both of these teams have something big to play for. And like you said, Alcorn State losing a season ago in the championship game. So it's definitely redemption for them. But Southern is just trying to continue the trend. They're the #1 seed coming into this tournament. So they want to win the outright bid to go to the NCAA tournament.
How about Destiny Brown, the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year? She'll be key today.
She will, and she has been tremendous this entire tournament. I mean, she's the defensive catalyst for this Alcorn State team. So look for her to rebound the basketball. She does a tremendous job in blocking shots. She protects the paint for Alcorn State, and I don't see it any different this afternoon.
Speaking of defense, Southern University brings in the top defense in all of the SWAC.
They do, and they have been doing it all season long. We see the averages and what they hold their opponents to per game and forcing the turnovers, and that was critical in a close game they had in the semifinals against Jackson State. Their defense is what prevailed and helped them to advance to the championship this afternoon. So look for that defense to rattle Alcorn State a little bit to get this championship win for Southern.
Southern led by their head coach, Carlos Funches, the SWAC Coach of the Year. He has his team on the precipice of an NCAA tournament appearance after a 15-3 run in the SWAC.
No, Coach Funches, since he's been with Southern, which has been over almost 2 decades, he's been amazing. But since he's been the head coach, he's brought a rich tradition or a continuing tradition to this squad, and they're looking for another championship under his helm.
Meanwhile, for Alcorn State's Nate Kilbert, different kind of season. They finished 6th in the SWAC, but here they are in the championship game.
And he said it in his press conference yesterday. Coach Kilbert was basically like, you know, they're healthy. They've had injuries all season long, and that's why you see the type of start they had beginning in conference play or in the season coming into the SWAC. But it's no different. This is a new season come championship time, and his team is trying to get another championship for Alcorn State.
That's one of the things with this time of year. You can never know who will show up when these postseason tournaments come to play. And the Braves have found their way from the 6th seed to the championship game to take on Southern. By the way, we talked about that record. For Southern, they've been dominant, trying to make their 7th NCAA tournament appearance. Meanwhile, for Alcorn State, it would be their first tournament appearance since 2005. Southern lost just 3 games in the SWAC during the regular season. However, one of those 3 losses to this Braves team. And the SWAC championship game is underway from Atlanta. Jermaine Finley now top for Destiny Brown into the corner. Off the window and in as Nakia Cheatman with the bucket to start it up.
And Cheatman, she had an incredible game in the semis as well, about 13 points and 9 boards, but she was a critical player as to why Alcorn State was able to advance.
And the counter on the other end by Dakia Sanders. So 2 early buckets as we get a look at the Braves starting 5, White, Backus, Cheatman, Finley, and Brown. White. Now the top of the arc 3 hits off the rim from Finley, and the rebound controlled by the Jaguars.
But that's something Southern does. They want to hold their opponents just to 1 shot. Their defense is so stout, they're able to do that.
The 3 rimming out from Deshante Edwards, and the rebound corralled by the Braves. 2-all to start here in quarter 1. Good defense once again from Southern. Tipped around and stolen by Edwards.
And this Southern defense is swarming early. They're all over the court, and you just see defensively they're clicking on all cylinders.
The three rattles in from Sanders.
And Sanders is getting it going. You know, yesterday she had a solid game in the semis, but she understands the ramification, even in the press conference, talking about how important this win would be to Southern, to the seniors on this squad, and to the city of Baton Rouge.
The transfer from Alabama State with 5 already as the 3 rattles out from Zaniah White. Floater up, that's no good. The rebound controlled by Alcorn State. Southern trying to avoid a fate suffered by the men's team as Finley drops in the 3. Southern's men's basketball team, the top seed in the men's tournament of the SWAC, they lost. They will not be in championship round action here later tonight. Pops but misses. Sanders back down the floor in a tie game. Sanders, long 3 off the mark. The rebound taken by Destiny Brown.
And we know that's what Destiny Brown is going to do or bring to this Braves team. She can rebound the basketball. That's something that Alcorn State's going to have to do. They're going to need to control the boards to control the pace of this game.
Brown leads the team in scoring and points. And rebounds, I should say. Has the ball here with 5 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Finley's jumper, no good. The rebound and a new possession. 3 ball up, that's good.
Oh, wow, and that was a big shot. Nice knockdown by Backus, and she was able to knock it down. She's capable of shooting that 3.
On the other end, Aaliyah Fontenot comes up empty. And the 3-point shot, Fallon, that's not something that Alcorn State is known for during the course of the season.
No, they're not. I mean, they've shot the 3 ball extremely poorly in this tournament, but it's good to see them getting it going early. But that turnover hurts a little bit.
Sanders running the floor with the feed to the wing, but a turnover and back over to Alcorn State.
You see this double team right here. They were all over Finley. They didn't want her to shoot that ball. We've seen her hit a 3 early, but that's the type of defense Southern brings. They're going to come swarming. They want to get the double teams at the top of the key and get the ball out of shooters' hands.
And they've been tremendous stealing the basketball this season. 11 steals per game, top 25 in all of Division I, and they turn you over 20 times on average per game. Inside to Brown. Brown misses, but she was fouled, so head to the line.
And you see that Southern defense, as soon as Brown touches it, they are all over her. 3, 4 defenders cluttering her, trying to make it difficult so she can't get an easy layup. But fortunately for Brown, she's able to draw the foul.
So Brown will head to the stripe. And how do you manage the emotions in a game like this if you're Alcorn State, as Brown comes up empty on the first? Brown's been excellent, averaging a double-double. How do you manage the emotions? You know, those turnovers in a game like this, you've got to stay away from those numbers. You
do, and I think it's just keeping your composure and understanding, like we said, for Alcorn State, this is a redemption game, so it's a lot of pressure on them. They want to win this championship. They just have to remain steady and make sure they take care of the basketball, because Southern is going to attack defensively all game long.
1 out of 2 from Brown. Foul line jumper is good from Sanaya Reed.
And Reed has been playing well for this Southern squad. She had a tremendous game in the semifinals as well with the 10 points and 7 rebounds, but she can bring the defense and she can shoot it.
Finley cutting to the rim, and Finley is fouled. And Finley is slow to get up. It'll be a foul against Aaliyah Fontenot. be her second. So far, quick start here in Atlanta, Fallon.
It is, and you see this shot right here by Backus. She gets her feet set. She's able to knock down a big three for Alcorn State.
Basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement plan that works for your team. And McDonald's. Back in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a SWAC championship game as Alcorn State and Southern battling. It's an early 2-point lead for the Braves as Charmaine Finley steps to the line. Started the last couple of games here for the Braves as she's able to get the first. Talked about the Braves at the top, Fallon. This is a team that went 10-8 during the regular season. But you take a look at how they started the year. It's been a challenge. They've won 6 of the last 7, though.
And that's how you want to be playing coming into the tournament. Forget, you can throw out everything out the window that happened early in the season when they started 2-10, and even, you know, what their record was in conference play. It's a new season, and they have been producing at the right time. And this is what Coach Kilbert wants. He wants his team to be playing well in the championship game.
Jocelyn Tate, the drive, the delivery too high off the glass, battling for the loose ball, and a jump ball is called. The possession arrow points in favor of Southern.
But even though Alcorn State didn't win that jump ball, that's how they have to compete on the boards. Rebounding is going to be so critical for them this afternoon.
And a foul off the jumper attempt by Sanaya Reed. Sanaya White picking up the whistle. That'll be her first. And that'll send Reed to the free throw line.
And you see this play, Reed was ready for it, but you cannot foul a jump shooter. You're going to get called on that every time.
The first is in for Reed. 51-47 win for Southern yesterday against Jackson State in a battle between two teams that have represented the SWAC over the last 4 years. It was a roller coaster ride of a game that ended up with Southern making a late defensive stop to get the win.
Yeah, Jackson State.
Three team fouls committed by the Jaguars. Backus feeds Finley. Finley turns, the hesitation, and the bucket.
Oh, that's a big-time move by Finley. And I like how she gathered herself, took her time. She had an isolation post play, was able to get the turnaround jumper.
4-point lead for the Braves. Finley already with 7. And 1 for Anaya Gordine.
And you see Finley right here working on Reed and takes her time, knocks down a big-time baseline jumper, and then Gordine comes right back and attacks and gets the nasty and one off the glass. She said, count it.
So White will pick up the foul as Gordine heads to the line. Gordine has been a rock for this lineup throughout the course of the year. Gordine gets the free throw, and the three-point play is successful. It's a 1-point lead for the Braves. Gordine coming off of the team-high 11 points in the win yesterday. Brown on the drive and scores.
That's a tough shot. I mean, at her height, able to penetrate and drive and knock down the nice finger roll. That's something you don't see too many post players doing.
Tate cut off. High arcing three, rattles out from Gordine, loose, controlled by Cheatman. This is a Braves team that has confidence that they can beat this Jaguars squad, as the shot missed, loose ball out of bounds, back over to Southern.
And this nice penetration by Brown, she just takes it and is able to get that ball to drop, and a little running leaner. I mean, that's something very impressive. You don't see post players with that capability, and it just shows she has the ball handling skills and she has the capability of taking her defender off the dribble.
And that makes just the defensive assignment even tougher.
Right.
When she can put the ball on the floor.
Good pass.
Good look inside, but the stuff against Castro. Inside to Brown. Brown and one.
And that's big time. That's when you know you have a go-to player. Defensively, Brown makes the play on the opposite end, gets a big-time block, runs the floor in transition, and gets rewarded. And when you see this, she is so great defensively, able to recover and get that block shot. And she runs down the court, beats her opponent, and gets the lay-in with the and one. Big time.
2 fouls against Castro as Brown gets a three-point play. Brown's 56th block of the season started that whole run.
It did. And that just tells you what type of defense Alcorn State can bring, because they have a player like Brown in their front court that can really defend the paint.
Sanders. Now the three up by Reed, no good, loose. Kept alive. That's Gordine trying to create. Scoop shot off the window, too strong. The follow is there, and one opportunity for the Jaguars and Tiana Lidge.
And that was a good job by Lidge. She was staying with the play, was able to follow that shot, and was able to get the rebound and the putback. That's what you have to do sometimes as a post player, making sure you're watching the play. And Gordine takes this awkward shot off the glass, but you got Lidge right there ready to clean it up. Big time offensive board and put back.
Halen Watkins picks up the foul. A three-point play completed. And a three-point lead for the Braves. Good start to this contest in the first quarter. SWAC championship game. Winner goes to the NCAA tournament. Brown pops out, puts it on the floor, tries to get by Lidge and does so.
Yeah, that is a tough assignment for Lidge, because Brown knows she has the advantage. Her first step is quick, and she was able to get to the basket once again.
Brown has 8. Dumped outside to Sanders. Under a minute left to go in the first quarter. 5 to shoot. Runner misses the mark. Tate with the rebound, tries to put it back up, and is fouled.
And that was a hard foul right there. But Tate did a great job staying with it even after she missed that shot. And she gets rewarded with the foul, going to the free throw line for 2 shots. But the intensity in this game, I mean, it is on 100 right now. Both of these teams really getting after it. And you can see how hungry each team is to try and win a championship this afternoon.
Great point. The intensity has been there from the start. These teams know the stakes.
It's a trip to the NCAA tournament. And, I mean, if you can't play for that, then what can you play for?
2 from Tate. Closing in on the end of the first quarter. Sanders tries it from deep, got it. Dakaya Sanders hits the three-pointer. On the run down the floor, and Watkins is called for an offensive foul.
And that was a great job. Big play by Lidge, getting that positioning, especially after the big three-pointer that was knocked down on the other end by Saunders, but she gets right back defensively and is able to take that charge.
The heave to end the first quarter is off the mark, and what a first quarter it was. Tied at 20. The SWAC championship on the line. The winner to the NCAA tournament. And creating opportunities for her team. Big time block defensively, running down the court in transition and getting the lay-in. And this one right here, a big time play. She's going to be fits for Southern all afternoon long with her capability to take the ball off the dribble. 8 points so far for Destiny Brown, 3 of 3 shooting from the field. Charmaine Finley, 7 points as well. And that's been one of the reasons why the Lady Braves have been able to try to seize control of this game. Southern has only led for 39 seconds as the second quarter starts.
Now you see them in the zone, Southern, but it doesn't stop Destiny Brown. She's still able to hit the bank shot at the free throw line. (22-20) lead for the Braves. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Sanders. That's Sanders first. And Sanders is a player that has to be in this game for Southern. She brings so much to the table. Fortunately, that's just her first, but that's something we probably have to monitor. But Southern staying with this 2-3 zone, trying to slow Alcorn State down a little bit, probably stopping that penetration.
Sheepman cut off, had to give it up. On the drive, and a steal. Tate all the way in, lays it in.
And Tate put on the jets in transition on that layup. She is lightning quick. But for Alcorn State, they definitely have to have more movement. They cannot just try and dribble Southern out of this zone. And
there is another turnover, a walk. That's the 6th turnover committed.
And you see this errant pass, and Tate reads it all day and is able to get that steal. She puts the jets on and gets the lay-in. Cheatman couldn't do anything about that.
Lidge comes up a little short on the jumper. Kiara Henderson going to work. Henderson, good look inside, taken away.
I mean, but you have to love Tate's defense. I mean, she read that so well. It looked like Alcorn State was going to have an easy lay-in on that nice pass. And she says, not today. Gets a nice steal on the baseline.
Nice look inside from Tate to Lidge, an easy layup.
And we see Tate brings a lot to the table. Her passing capabilities, but her defense, more importantly, which creates offense for Southern.
Good spark plug off the bench for this Southern team. A lead for the Jaguars. 3 straight turnovers for the Lady Braves. The 3 missed by Cheatman. The rebound taken by the Jaguars. Reed. Now Tate had some room at the top to operate, passed it up. Sanders with 7. Outside, the 3 short from Tate. And the rebound corralled by the Lady Braves. Scoop layup by Henderson's no good.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a drought when you look at it for Alcorn State, the last few possessions, they have not been able to score the basketball.
Catch and shoot three by Reed is good.
You have to get out on the three-point shooters. You know that's on the scouting report, and Reed can definitely shoot it. And she shoots it at a high clip at around 38%. So you got to get a hand up when she's shooting threes.
This was a tie game at 20 to start the second quarter. It's been all Southern to start. 5 straight empty offensive possessions for the Braves. Could be 6. The heave at the rim, no good, make it 6.
She almost knocked down that prayer, though.
Maya Hunkin-Clater almost with a miracle heave to beat the shot clock, but a timeout called by Southern off the miss. They lead it by 5. And that defense we mentioned at the top has come out in force to start the second quarter. In an exciting week here, not only because it's Champ Week, but for Carlos Funches, the head coach of Southern. He's used to excitement as a part of the SWAC tournament, but in his playing days, he actually won a college slam dunk contest that was actually broadcasted on ESPN.
Now that's pretty awesome. If I had a coach who had won a slam dunk contest, he would get a lot of credit for me because I love that competition. It's fun to watch. But he brings that type of, you know, confidence and swagger to his squad, and you see how Southern plays. They lay it out all on the floor or on the court, and they are hungry to win another championship.
Bench scoring, a big part of the success for Southern so far. 11-zip advantage off the bench.
And then also the points off of turnovers. 7 turnovers thus far for the Braves, and Southern has turned that into 10 points.
Gordine gets the bucket. They'll take a look at it. I'm not sure she got that off in time.
Yeah, it was very close.
For now, it's the largest lead of the game for Southern. Finley tries to add to a strong first half, cannot. Ball deflected and stolen. Another turnover committed by the Lady Braves. Gordine squeezes a pass inside that leads to a foul as Castro got some contact there.
And Cheatman was just a little bit late on that rotation and committed the foul from behind. But you see right here, Gordine gets that ball. Oh, I don't think so. She didn't get it off in time. It was still in her hand once the shot clock went off.
Tanaya Lawson adds 2. It's a 31-22 ball game. Brown lost the ball, but possession maintained by the Braves. Finley lines it up, can't knock it down, loose, and it will head out of bounds, and it will stay with the Braves.
But that was great hustle by Hunkin-Clater. She was hustling for that ball and that rebound and was able to cause that ball to at least go out of bounds on a Southern player because of her hustle.
Straight on 3, catches the front of the rim out of the hands of Backus, controlled by Lawson. And this is what happened to Jackson State yesterday. Close game, and then Southern took over. Gordine taking over.
She is, and she didn't shoot the basketball particularly well yesterday, but Coach Funches and his staff knew she's capable of scoring the basketball and hopefully have a better outing this afternoon, and she is.
Timeout called by the Braves, an 11-point lead picked up by Southern, but that will get a little bit of a deduction when they go through the review to take a look at the Gordine bucket from a few moments ago.
Right, and that wasn't a shot that she got before or got off before the shot clock went off. But it was a nice try, a nice attempt, but they're going to take that back. It was a shot clock violation.
Is the play being reviewed?
It's still on her hand, and you can see it. She didn't get that shot off quite yet. It was a good shot, good-looking shot. Just wasn't a good basket.
So Gordine and her teammates head back out on the floor. Just over 4 minutes left to go, and it looks like...
Did they count it?
There's no way.
They think it's still, because it's still showing she has 7 in the box score, and the score has not changed to 31.
That's a wild decision if that stands.
Maybe it was just too close to call.
Another tie-up, and it's a jump ball. This time the possession favors Southern. One of the big differences in this game thus far, the defense of Southern, just in this quarter alone, the Braves have missed on 6 of 7 shots from the field.
Yeah, and that's not going to get it done if you're Alcorn State. I mean, you have to hit shots, especially in the championship game. And, you know, that's what Southern wants to do defensively. They want to make it difficult for their opponents. That's why they're holding their opponents to around 57 points per game. So you have to find ways to attack and get creative. They were doing it well in the first quarter by getting the ball to Destiny Brown. But since she's been back in, it's still been a struggle.
Reed misses the 3. High in the air for the basketball was White. Down the floor, Henderson, and that is going to be an offensive foul against the Braves.
And they are fired up, Southern is right now. That was another big-time play. We saw Lidge take a charge earlier in the game, and here comes Castro. Yeah, that's a clean push-off right there, and then she continues to attack. But unfortunately for her, Castro was right there waiting for it and gets the charge.
An 11-point lead for Southern. Rainmaker 3 is good. The high arcing shot from Tanaya Lawson.
And right now, Southern's clicking on all cylinders offensively. The ball is just falling for them.
White lost the ball. The Braves need some stops quickly as this deficit is mounting. Gordine, Reed again from deep. Missed it, tipped by Gordine, still loose, and now Brown controls. Backus feeds Brown. Finley, turnaround shot, up and in.
And that was so needed for the Braves. They needed a bucket badly, and they were able to get one on that possession.
That's their first field goal since the 9:43 mark.
It's a lot of time to be in a drought.
The block inside, but Gordine is right there with a follow.
And that's what you just see, the energy and intensity for Southern. They're hungry to win a championship, picking up full court defensively. You just see they're getting after it, and the ball is going and falling their way in this second quarter.
Brown, long jumper, lips off the rim, and taken by Reed. Gordine, floater, no good. And then Gordine, maybe a frustration foul there, fouls Destiny Brown.
Yeah, Gordine, that was a bad foul on her part, and she's saying her bad. But you see the statistics right here with Destiny Brown. She's 4 or 5 from the field for Alcorn State. And then you see Saunders with 8 points and 2 of 3 from behind the arc. So it's been good shooting, but the Jaguars' defense, I mean, that has been tremendous. The 15 points off 11 forced turnovers, I think that's the storyline of this game and why they have this lead right now.
Under a minute left to go. The close of the second quarter, approaching halftime. Henderson drops it off for White. Brown's pass fired hard, but deflected. And it'll stay with the Braves. 7 seconds to shoot. Finley looking for help. Backus with 5. Backus with 2 to shoot. Backus fires, no good.
Backus was dancing with it. She wanted to make something happen, but the outside shots have not been falling for Alcorn State. They have to get that ball and pound it inside to Destiny Brown or somehow get some penetration drives to the bucket.
8 seconds to shoot. Sanders cut off. Outside to Reed. Reed with 2 to shoot. Lawson off the window, and that's a shot clock violation against Southern.
Yeah, we talked about the earlier when we thought it was a shot clock violation, but that was definitely when it hit no point or no parts of the rim.
Into Backus, and that will close out the first half. Southern outscoring the Braves 18-4. Anaya Gordine, a big part of that.
Yeah, she was, and she's shooting the ball well in this first half. They need her this afternoon if they want to win a championship, Southern, so she was tremendous.
The SWAC championship game. A tie game at the end of one, but all Southern in quarter 2. 14-point lead for the Jaguars. More by principal. This is the SWAC championship in Atlanta, Georgia. 20 more minutes of basketball as Southern and Alcorn State vying to see who will represent the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. Derek Jones and Fallon Stokes with you. Fallon, give me some of your keys here in the second half.
Well, I think with Southern, they have to continue with the defensive intensity, and they did a great job of that in the first half. They need to cause turnovers that turns into offense for them. And, you know, for Alcorn State, they need to slow down a little bit and get back to their bread and butter and what they were doing in the first quarter offensively, and that was getting Destiny Brown the basketball. When she has the ball in her hand, either she can make a decision to drive, shoot, or find her open teammates for a shot. So they need to get the ball inside or attack the basket.
Quarter 3 begins. Finley squeezes a pass inside to Brown. Brown gets blocked. Gordine, quick pass, gets it back. If you're joining us and wondering why the score at halftime was 38-24, now 36-24. Bucket wiped out from a previous possession in the first half, as there will be a foul committed by Deshante Edwards of Southern.
And that's not a good foul by by her, especially that far away from the basket. Edwards, when she was trying to get a defensive or offensive rebound, but Cheatman was right there and was able to gather it.
The third quarter could prove pivotal in this game for Alcorn State. They've got to find a way to drum up some offense. Down by 12. Backus with a crossover, creating some space. Finley, the kick outside. Cheatman 3, that's good.
And that's big. Cheatman didn't really get it going offensively in that first half, but we know she's a capable scorer for this Alcorn State team. I mean, she had a tremendous game in the semifinals. They need some point production from her this afternoon.
And a travel. So the pressure creating a turnover and an opportunity for the Braves.
Right, and the Braves, they're giving Southern a taste of their own medicine with the full court pressure that caused the turnover.
5th turnover of the game. committed by Southern. 9-point lead. Inside, and that goes off of Finley's hands, out of bounds, back to Southern.
Yeah, that would have been difficult for Finley either way. It was 3 Southern players around her when she was trying to catch that basketball.
They break the pressure inside the Lidge. Lidge pump fake against Brown and draws the foul against Brown. Lidge will go to the line.
And that was a good shot fake by Lidge. She caused Brown to get off her feet. And once you get up like that, the only thing you can do is foul. And that's what Brown did. Lidge at the free throw line.
Lidge with 5 points to go along with 5 rebounds, make it 6 points for Lidge as she increases the lead back out to double figures. It is at 10.
And she doesn't shoot it at a high percentage from the free throw line, but she has been great this afternoon for Southern.
Lidge, who leads the team in block shots, has increased the lead to 11. Finley swings it to the corner.
Good
look inside, and the layup is in for White. And that's how you craft your way through a defense.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. You have to make the right passes, and that was a nice pass by Finley.
Deflected and taken by Finley. Nine-point lead. Southern has been in control since the second quarter. Quick pop by Finley is in.
And Finley is getting it going. She hit a couple buckets in that first half, but she has come out making some nice passes and knocking down that mid-range jump shot.
Finley approaching double figures as the foul line jumper is in from Alea Fontenot.
Yeah, that was a good cut by Fontenot. She saw her teammate was being doubled, and that's what you have to do. You cut to a spot to receive the basketball, and she was rewarded, able to hit that free throw line jumper.
Backus finds Brown, quick pass. Finley fading away from the rim, tough shot. And an easy rebound for Southern. Looked like she was a little bit off balance there on the release.
She was. I'm sure that is not a shot that Coach Kilbert wanted in that offensive set.
Gourdine is fouled.
And Gourdine's being smart. She's taking her time and finding her opportunities to penetrate and getting fouled and rewarded. But when you see the run right now that Alcorn State is trying to make, that was a nice pass by Finley. Nice pass and a nice bucket by White. But right here, you see the type of work that Finley can do. She just catches, shoots, able to knock down that jumper.
That's number 3 on White. As Finley has given it a go here in this contest. 11 points for the game. As Gourdine pours in the first. And we talked a lot about Destiny Brown to start things up here today. Finley's been a big factor, and for a time, that was why the game was a little bit tilted in the favor of Alcorn State.
It was, especially in that first quarter, because it was Finley and Brown who were scoring the baskets. Nobody else has really scored for Alcorn State. So they have to pick it up and find somebody else to contribute. And that was a good drive by Cheatman. She's trying to get it going in the second half. We saw her hit a big 3 earlier. Oh, they called it offensive foul. Oh, wow, I thought it was defensive.
Well, based off of the reactions, yeah, you're exactly right. It'll be Southern basketball. Leading by 11, the SWAC championship game. Gourdine, and that's going to be an offensive foul. It'll be charged to Sanders.
Well, maybe that was the return payback for the Cheatman drive, and Alcorn State gets another opportunity see if they can score something in their offensive sets. Trying to cut into this Southern lead, down 11.
Approaching 6 minutes left, third quarter. Cheatman. Brown thinking about putting it on the floor, now does. Contested shot, misses the mark, but a foul that will send Destiny Brown to the line.
But even for her size, and she's able to handle the ball and drive or take her defender off the dribble, but she protects the ball really well and makes it difficult for the ball to be stolen. But it just creates opportunities when she drives the basketball like that. She gets to the free throw line, or she's able to get a bucket.
First in from Brown. Brown is one of 3 players on the roster from California. Nice looking stroke, knocks down the free throws. 9-point game. Sanders, such a speedy guard. And that is going to be a foul picked up by Hurt Floyd.
And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to pick up any type of chippy fouls that far away from the basket. We know that Sanders can handle the ball extremely well, and she's the point guard for this squad for a reason.
Sanders sets up shop with their team up by 9. Tate stops, pops, and can't get the roll. And the defensive board snatched away by Cheatman.
But you see how much of an effect Brown has when she's in the paint. Tate had to stop and think about it. She had a wide open lane and decided to shoot that jump shot.
Cheatman pops, can't hit. Brown had 2 hands on it, but the ball squirted loose. Sanders at the controls. It is so important this time of year to have a solid point guard, and the roll there by Tate gets the layup.
And Tate's so athletic. Once she sees an opening, she can just get to the basket. It looked a little awkward as if she tripped going up for the layup, but she was able to recover and finish.
The lead back to double figures. Cheatman inside, off the back of the rim, gets it back. Brown, pull up. Can't get the drop, tipped around and taken by Lidge.
And it's a lid on that basket for the Braves right now.
And that ball sails near us, out of bounds. An 11-point lead for Southern, Fallon.
And it's all been because of this player right here, Tate. It's a nice drive. She's able to finish at the basket, showing her true athleticism.
ESPN.
The last 4 champions in the SWAC. Jackson State in 2021. And it's been a Jackson State run of sorts over the last few years. 2022 interrupted by Southern in 2023. And then in 2024, Jackson State won, and they defeated Alcorn State in the championship game.
Yeah, we talk about redemption. This is an opportunity that Coach Kilbert and his squad, they see it, and they don't want to let this slip away. And when we see the second quarter that they had, Southern did it again, holding them to single digits in that second quarter. This is a big quarter for them, and right now they have the lead 9-8 against Southern, but they have to find ways to score the basketball and score against this Southern zone.
And they're in search for bench scoring. All of their points for the Braves coming via the starters. Outscored 18-0 off the bench, and a turnover out of the timeout. Bourdin looking for some assistance. And finds it with Sanders. Reed. 5 to shoot. Tate, the kick, Sanders, 3-ball up, that's good.
And you can tell Sanders, she wants this championship. She has hit some big threes for Southern this afternoon.
Southern trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the second time in 3 years. Largest lead of the game thus far for Southern. And that ball off the hand of Cheatham. And Cheatman's turnover gives the basketball back to Southern.
And those turnovers are becoming costly because Southern has capitalized on each turnover that they have caused this afternoon, and it's turned into points. Let's see what they do on this possession.
15 turnovers as the jumper missed by Reed, grabbed by Cheatman. This is following a similar script to what Southern did to Jackson State yesterday. Close game early, and then they just took over in the second and third quarter. To the post down low, Gordine comes up with a steal.
And you see already that Coach Kilbert coming back with Destiny Brown because they need her. They need some scoring or someone in the paint that can create some offense.
Open real estate for Reed.
And right now, Southern is clicking on all cylinders. They are eyeing this championship. This third quarter, they are closing it out strong.
Sanaya Reed's layup gives Southern a 16-point lead. And the Braves want to talk about it. 49-33. And the prize on the line here today is the SWAC championship. The winner off to the NCAA tournament.
$9.99. Order in the next 5 minutes.
11-2 run for Southern to build a 16-point lead, and the offensive struggles for the Lady Braves continue. It's just been, there have been too many valleys in their game so far.
It has, and they have not been able to get some consistent offense in the second half. I mean, it started in the second quarter, but they have to find ways to score against this zone and force Southern to get out of it. And if that's going to be shooting and knocking down some three-point shots or really trying to pass through some cutting or through cutting players and giving them opportunities in the paint, that's what it needs to be.
Brown and a foul.
And you see Brown, as soon as she caught it, she went back to attacking, and that has worked for her this afternoon. She doesn't get rewarded with going to the free throw line, but at least they maintain the possession.
Catch and shoot three off the inbounds play. The miss retrieved by the Jaguars. Good look inside. And a foul on the shot attempt by Reed. Good dish provided by Tate.
I mean, that was a good dish by Tate. She held on to that basketball as long as she could to make that pass to Reed. And you see Brown was waiting and willing, and she shuffles that pass quickly to Reed. All Alcorn State could do was foul her.
Reed pours in the first free throw. The lead expands to 17. Reed has really stepped her game up here today in double figures as the lead increases to 18. 51-33. Just over a minute left in the third quarter.
And you talk about Reed's play. I mean, one of those major contributors off the bench this afternoon for Southern. She's at around 11 points.
Maya Hunkin-Clater with a three.
And that was a much-needed three for Alcorn State. They needed an outside bucket.
First bench points of the day for the Braves. Reed. Now Lawson. Tate with the kick. Three up. That's no good. Tipped around, taken. Lawson had her hands on it for a moment. Finley lines up a three, missed it. Brown lost her shoe. She's trotting back down the floor.
Got to keep playing. Get that shoe and just, there you go. Put it right back up.
Some maintenance in real time there by Destiny Brown. Reed can't get the drop on the jumper. Loose. Finley, and that closes out quarter 3. So Southern will take a 15-point lead into the 4th quarter. The SWAC championship on the line. And Southern will try to hold off Alcorn State when we return to Atlanta, Georgia. Jaguars closing in perhaps on a return trip to the NCAA tournament. They won the regular season title of the SWAC. It's been a banner year for them. We've talked about their defensive capabilities, and we've seen really why they're the best team in the SWAC, at least in the regular season in this game.
No, we've seen it, and it starts with the defense. I mean, I think that has controlled their destiny all season long, and that's what Coach Funches, he likes to play defense, and that is his mantra for this squad. I mean, they just really compete on the defensive end, and it turns into the type of scores you see here. I mean, right now, Alcorn State only 36 points through 3 quarters.
The Braves shooting just 39% for the game. Gordine gets blocked by Lawson, or excuse me, by Brown. It'll be a possession here for Southern with 4 seconds to shoot.
Southern's gonna have to get it off quick.
Gordine gets blocked again by Brown. And now just 0.6 of a second left to shoot.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a tip.
Launch. Oh, that at least was
close.
a pretty good look. And they get a new possession off of the rebound.
And that's what you can't do. You know, this game, Alcorn State has been pretty consistent staying with Southern, with rebounding wise, but that was a big offensive rebound by Southern.
Gordine swings a pass inside and one as Lidge finishes it off. She'll go to the line.
And that's one of those plays that can just deflate your entire team. When you look at Gordine making the decision to penetrate and then finds her open teammate in Lidge, who was right near Destiny Brown, able to catch and finish at the rim, going to the free throw line for the and one. That's probably the highlight play of the game.
Team basketball played by Southern. And the lead increases. 54-36. Southern up. Fourth quarter action as the foul will be picked up here off the drive by White.
And you see White just a little frustrated, but let's take another look at this dime thrown by Gordine and a nice finish at the rim by Lidge. And I mean, that's what it's all about during championship week. Those type of plays that are gonna close out a game or be a finisher to help you compete to get to the next round or to get to the NCAA championship.
One of the things that's really impressive about Southern is the guard play, and this time of year, if you're going anywhere, you've got to have good guard play.
You do, because they control the offense. They control the game when you think about it. I mean, as a post player, you're not gonna get any touches if you don't have good guards.
The block by Gordine, the save, and Gordine, and the Jaguars will move it down the floor.
Yeah, that was a big-time save by Fortuno. She was right there, saw Gordine get that nasty block from behind, and she cleaned it up to save that possession for her team.
Gordine. Now Gordine lines it up, can't knock down the jumper. Nice ball movement from Edwards, but Gordine can't finish it off. White swings it, the three off the mark from Hunk and Claytor. Lidge there to clean it up. And with each missed shot and defensive rebound picked up by Southern, Alcorn State's opportunities slipping away from them. Inside to Lidge, and Lidge gets hammered at the rim, back to the line.
But I love what Southern's doing, at least the Southern guards. They are so intentional about penetrating and getting Lidge some good looks. And what it's turning into are fouls by Destiny Brown that she does not need. And you see this play again. Destiny Brown trying to block it too late and gets another foul called against Lidge.
Lidge able to get the bounce on the first free throw. Lidge up to 11 points, 1 rebound off of a double-double.
And that's a pretty solid day going against the defensive player of the year, right?
19-point lead, largest of the game, held by Southern. Brown finds Henderson inside for the layup.
With a little over 7 minutes to go, they're going to need a lot of that.
Brown continuing to show off the passing skills here. Team leader in assists this season as they cut it down to a 17-point lead. Edwards inside to Fontenot. And the layup taken away by Henderson.
I don't think Fontenot knew how wide open she was. She could have just gathered herself, but that's a nice banker.
Henderson taking it all the way. She'll put it in off the glass. Sanders, and a timeout called by Southern. So Carlos Funches does not want this momentum to build for Alcorn State, as his team leads it by 15. And Fallon, they're trying to close this down.
They are, and you see this last bucket, a big bucket by Henderson. She's been quiet, but that was a needed 2 points.
Southern grabbed that and joined those teams. Punch another ticket to the NCAA tournament. Derek Jones and Fallon Stokes with you from Atlanta. It is a 15-point lead for Southern as they try to hold off Alcorn State. Fontenot. Now Edwards with 3 to shoot. Edwards, floater up, no good. Taken away by Brown.
Right now, Alcorn State, they have to push and try and get something in transition, but Southern does a great job of getting back defensively.
Henderson. Outside, the 3, no good from Watkins. Loose in the lane, and Sheetman able to get the whistle.
He's showing that athleticism. She skied for that rebound, and you can just tell she's trying to make something happen for her team. Able to get the foul call and see what she can do at the free throw line.
What's the mentality here if you're a team down by 15? Late in the game like this, do you try to play it in you don't have a lot of chunks left, but
right.
How do you think about it?
I mean, I think you just have to control and push the ball. You got to get up the court to see if you can outrun your opponent to get some easy layups, but you have to be intentional of driving, attacking, and trying to draw some fouls at this point.
By the way, that last foul picked up by Aaliyah Fontenot. That is her third. It's Tate ahead to Fontenot. Coming up later from right here in Atlanta, it will be the SWAC championship game on the men's side. Alabama State against Jackson State. Step back, up in the air, no good. With the shot clock winding down, Sanders could not finish it off. Henderson all the way to the rack and scoring.
And that's big time. That's what Henderson was doing yesterday in the semifinal game. I mean, she was driving and attacking against Texas Southern. She's been quiet this afternoon, but that was a big time play.
All 6 of Henderson's points coming here in the fourth quarter. Gordine can't bank it in. Sheepman rebound. Henderson. 3, no good from White. The tie up down low, and the possession arrow stays with Alcorn State.
And that was good hustle by the Braves in order to keep that possession, get the tie up, because every possession is going to count. If they can find ways to score the basketball and stopping the clock, getting to the free throw line or penetrating and getting good looks, that's going to be a good recipe down the stretch.
Into Brown. Sheepman floater, no good. Lidge has a double-double.
Those are those chippy shots you need if you're Sheepman. She had a good look. That was a nice pass and recovery by Brown, and she just could not finish.
Approaching 4 minutes left to go. Tate tried to get that pass inside the Lidge, instead of turnover. White down the floor, too strong, kept alive by Brown, but thrown right to Gordine.
If you're gonna play that fast, you gotta play under the control if you're White. It was a good push, just couldn't finish at the rim.
.12-point lead is Gordine. Walks. And you may have to give an assist there to Destiny Brown. She'll cause a few people to walk.
Right, and I'm telling you, anytime the Southern guards have gone in the paint, you know, we've seen Tate do it a few times, but they take a moment to think about it when they see Brown in the paint and readjust with the pass. But that time, Gordine gets called for the travel.
When Southern lost to Alcorn State earlier this year, they fell 59-55 in overtime. They're at 55 points right now with 3:11 left to go. Ball deflected, Brown catches. Brown got some contact, no call.
And it was right in front of the referee, but they weren't going to make that call because it definitely looked like Destiny Brown was forcing the issue to get the foul call.
Gordine guarded by Henderson, trying to find some room. Gets a screen from Castro. Gordine knocked to the floor. That'll be a foul on Henderson and the Braves.
But I like what Gordine did that possession. She kept her dribble. She didn't pick the ball up and kept attacking until she was able to draw that foul. And it's one that's on the floor, so she won't get 2 shots. But it was a good decision.
Third team foul committed by the Braves with 2:42 left to go. Fontenot looks over the defense, tries a 3, knocks it down.
And that might be the exclamation mark in this game. Fontenot with a big-time 3. She's hit a couple. But that was the shot that may have been the dagger.
Watkins into the rim. And that will send Watkins to the free throw line with 2:15 left to go.
And you see Fontenot just waiting for Brown to step up. Brown gives her a lot of space. She just knocks down an open 3-point shot.
And to your point about that maybe ending up being a dagger, one of the problems for this Braves team, they don't shoot the 3 well. They only average 3 3-pointers a game.
Right. And when you're going against a Southern team that actually shoots the 3, you know, pretty decent at around 29%, But Fontenot, other players we talked about earlier, especially with Reed leading the conference in three-point shooting. When you have shooters like that, you have to defend the three. And they have not done a great job with the three-pointers that Southern's been able to knock down this afternoon.
They break the pressure and then pull it back out. Lawson lines it up, can't knock down the three, and an offensive rebound taken by Tate. Sanders with 5 to shoot. Tate fires and scores.
Oh my goodness. Tate has been tremendous for this Southern team. In the most sparing moments, she's able to knock down a bucket.
The rebound taken by Castro. Ahead to Lawson, and the Southern fans sensing victory.
Yeah, this crowd is amped up. Like we like to say in the South, they are crunk right now, trying to cheer their team on to the NCAA tournament.
Henderson back outside. Watkins three. That's no good. Taken by Sanders. Since the second quarter of this game, Southern put it in a stranglehold and have not let go.
They definitely did, and they have not looked back. And it's been exactly what we said this game would be about, the defense. And we talk about Southern holding their opponents this season to around 57 points per game. In this championship game, they have held Alcorn State to 44 points thus far. And, you know, we have under a minute, but this is looking like we're going to have Southern as another champion for the SWAC.
Castro tries a jumper. That's good.
Everything falling. You got Lidge on the baseline showing the follow-through like it's money. And Lidge's play this afternoon for Southern was tremendous as well. Got her a double-double.
It's been that kind of fourth quarter and second half for Southern. They have dominated this contest in the second half. Henderson loses the ball on what might be the final possession of the game
and
of the season.
Right. But you just have to applaud the job that Alcorn State did. I mean, coming into this tournament as the 6th seed, making it all the way back to the championship game. You know, Coach Kilbert had his team fighting bit by bit in this tournament. They just didn't have enough gas in the championship.
For the second time in 3 seasons, Southern will head back to the NCAA tournament. Well, hold on a second. A technical foul was called against Alcorn State as their players were walking towards the bench area. Kiara Henderson will pick up the technical foul.
Oh, wow. It must have been a little unsportsmanlike sportsmanship.
Wow. With a second and a half left.
Yeah, that's rare you see that in a championship game when the teams are about to celebrate. But I mean, you understand the frustration, but you can't have any of that, especially this game was out of reach for some time. But you see the likes of Sanders already talking to the camera. His team is animated, and they are turned up. I mean, they just won a conference championship, an outright bid to the NCAA tournament. It doesn't get any better than this when it's March.
So Southern will get a chance to add to this lead as Lawson will step to the line. Gets to the first. Take a look here in a moment as we see Lawson get the second free throw. Take a look at the right side of your screen at Henderson, number 24. Watch her take a swipe at the ball. right there.
Yeah, you can't have that. I mean, it didn't look as big or as bad on TV, but you definitely can't have that.
And Alcorn will call a timeout with a second and a half left. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement plan that works for your team. A frustrating time for Alcorn State and Nate Kilbert. His team down by 20.
Yeah, Coach Kilbert not happy about that call. And, you know, I get it. It just prolonged this championship game with some extra points on the board, extending this lead for Southern to 20 points. And they get the ball back. But I'm assuming they'll just hold it, ride this championship out.
Inbounded to Sanders, and it's over. For the second time in 3 seasons, Southern University wins the SWAC. They will head back to the NCAA tournament. The third championship for Southern under the leadership of Carlos Funches. His team wins 64-44. And he will join us right now to talk about this victory. Coach Funches, congratulations on the victory. Your team really did an outstanding job defensively from the second quarter on. What do you think made the difference?
Well, that's been a staple about... Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. That's been the staple of our team the entire season. You know, just making sure that we defend it each and every night. Defense travels. Some nights you're going to hit shots, some nights you're not going to hit shots, but defense travels.
Well, your defense was tremendous in this championship game, and how many turnovers you called that turned into at least 24 points off of turnovers this afternoon. So talk about that in your team's defense, and that was the key to this championship.
Well, we didn't put a lot of pressure on them. I thought defensively they were not, offensively they were not ready for the zone because we hadn't played zone all year. And the girls really wanted to play zone because they run a really great motion offense. So it was tough for us to guard a man-to-man. So we went 2-3 zone, and they believed in it, and they got the job done.
Second title in 3 years. What is it about Southern that makes them so successful under your leadership?
Well, I think it's a team effort, not just myself, but I think I have a great coaching staff, you know, one of the best in the country, bar none. And the young ladies, they bought in.
Well, thank you, Coach. Congratulations on this championship and Coach of the Year as well.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Carlos Funches will head off and celebrate with his team as they complete an end-to-end run in the SWAC. They win the regular season title and finish the job in the postseason by winning the SWAC tournament. A tremendous effort, including a 20-point win here today, Fallon.
Yeah, and when you talk about it, I mean, we just heard it from Coach Funches. It was all about the defense. And when they made the decision in that second quarter to move to that 2-3 zone, Alcorn State didn't know what to do. I mean, they could not run their offense. They were stagnant, and it caused turnovers and created points for Southern. So I think that's the key ingredient to this win today, and that's why they are the champions.
And now they await selection Sunday, and they'll find out where they will be headed for the NCAA tournament. A team effort put together by Southern University. 3 players in double-figure scoring. Lidge, Sanders, and Reed help the Jaguars punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. And now, look, he hit on it pretty effectively. Defense travels, and they'll bring that defense with them to the tournament.
And in the tournament, you never know what could happen. I mean, whatever seed they may get, you know, they're going to play against a top opponent in the NCAA tournament, but they'll be prepared. He's going to have them ready. And like you said, when you play defense like Southern does, that's a good recipe to make some upsets or cause some chaos in the tournament.
Another 20-win season for Carlos Funchess and the Southern University Jaguars, who returned to the NCAA tournament. It was another impressive performance by them in this tournament. They take down Mississippi Valley State in the quarters, Jackson State in the semifinals, and they finish off Alcorn State, who has to be disappointed. A great run for them in this tournament. They came up just a little short.
They did, and as a 6th seed, the lowest seed left in the semifinals, they made it to the championship game, but they just ran out of gas when you played this Southern team that just comes with tremendous defense. And when you think about the 7 seasons that Coach Funchess has been at the helm, I mean, this is his 3rd SWAC championship in that time. So that's pretty amazing, and it shows the type of coach he is, winning Coach of the Year once again in this league. But he's a force to be reckoned with, and so is his squad.
And like any great coach, he says it's not just about me,
right.
It's about the team. And he provided kudos to his coaching staff for the job that they've helped do alongside him. And one of the big reasons why this team has been successful. Now for Southern, this is going to be for their players a life-changing experience, as Anaya Gourdine receiving the SWAC tournament MVP. She was tremendous yet again today.
She was, and we said how she struggled in the semifinal game against Jackson State. Didn't score the ball particularly well, but today she hit some big buckets, and she scored and capitalized on opportunities when they were there, set her teammates up, and played some tremendous defense as well. So you got to applaud her. Congratulations on the MVP trophy for the tournament.
Another amazing performance by Southern's defense as they win it by 20, 64-44. There's the prize, the SWAC championship trophy that is collected now by Southern University. And they will take that back to Baton Rouge to get set for what should be a fun week for them in preparation for the NCAA tournament. What a moment this is for this program. Coach Funchess and his team on top of the SWAC. Southern University does it again in the SWAC. They win the regular season and the postseason, and it all culminates with a 64-44 win over Alcorn State here in Atlanta, Georgia. The men's game coming up in a bit. For our entire crew and Fallon Stokes, I'm Derek Jones saying so long. Southern wins it 64-44. Have a good night, everybody.